Hello and welcome our viewers. This is Wellness Haven. We are coming to you from Nakuru, Kenya. Welcome so much. At Wellness Haven, we offer you a safe space for inner healing. Whether you're going through issues with your relationship, whether you are married or dating, or coming from a toxic relationship, we work with you through therapy. We also work with you through any life challenges that you're facing as an adult or even children. At Wellness Haven, we also offer outreaches in schools and in churches and in workplaces. Welcome today for our channel. We have a conversation that we will work with you, and I have my colleagues who I will be sharing the show with. So welcome so much. Welcome our viewers. Today we have another day to be together with you. This is Wellness Haven by Julie, coming to you from Nakuru, Kenya, where we offer you a safe space for inner healing. Today we have another interesting episode where we are going to speak about self-worth. And with me are my colleagues, Pastor Cleophas and Pastor Carlington, and they are going to introduce themselves. Then we'll continue with our interesting and very educative topic. Welcome so much. Welcome, Pastor Cleophas.
Thank you, Julie. The way she has just introduced myself, I'm Pastor Cleophas. I'm a father, I'm a pastor, I'm a counselor, and I run an organization as well called Fountain of Hope, and where we help the less fortunate and the needy in our community. So today we have this interesting topic, and to all our viewers, wherever you are watching from, in Africa, in the United States, in Asia, wherever you are, in Europe, in United Kingdoms, you are most welcome, because this is our desire that we may share this program, and above all that we may get that what we call the inner healing. Thank you so much as you welcome to this program.
Yeah, once again, thank you, Julie, for having us. My name is Carlington, a witness. I'm a pastor, Revealing Christ Church, a Ministry of Word Center Church. I'm also a counselor. Specifically, I major on pastoral counseling. We do ministry in schools. We hold marriage seminars for couples, because the desire of God, if you read in the Word of God, 1 Thessalonians 5:23, He wants us to be one in your soul, in your spirit, and in your body. And by His grace, that is what He's doing through us, and we believe you will be blessed. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So, thank you so much. And I don't know if ushaikaa mahali ambapo umekaa tu kujilazimisha, lakini unasikia tu hauko sawa, ama umekaa na watu na unasikia tu ni kama hiyo uhusiano si mzuri sana, because self-worth sometimes ukiwa hauna self-worth, mara mingi unajipata unakaa mahali ambapo hauko sawa. You're feeling desperate in that place, but unajilazimisha tu kukaa because uko na issues na self-worth. Na wakati mwingine unapata pia unajisukumia kukaa na watu, lakini hauko sawa, but unajilazimisha tu. Sijui kama mmejipata in such a place.
Yes, of course. Things happens in life because this is life we are living and we are human. So wakati tunaongea juu ya hiyo kuwa na the value, this self-worth is like we are talking about having value on yourself. Unakuja, there are times in life that most of us, we are pastors with Lugadia, na we've gone through a lot, Julie, na unakuja unafika mahali unakuta hata unajidharau. You don't value yourself before people, sometimes in congregation, because of some things about tumepitia, some recurrence or things that happen in life. You know, life is big and there are so many things, ups and downs. So sometimes unakuja unajikosea udhamana na unaona kama haufaidi wewe ufanikiwe, ama umeenda katikati ya watu wamebarikiwa na magari, kina umekuja na pikipiki, unakuja unajikosea udhamana ama umaana. So it really happens in life. It has happened not once, not twice in my life. And yeah, I agree, it really happens in our lives. I don't know about Carlington, maybe he'll tell us.
Yeah, growing up, you know, I came from a humble background. And growing up in that environment, and you have to interact with people who come from maybe a well-off family, it really had an impact on my self-image. And I used to look down upon myself, but when the Lord began to deal with me, I received the healing, and I started seeing the value that I have, something that I have, that I know it is a blessing to my world, which has helped me so that I may be even a blessing to others. Yeah.
Yeah. Pastor, picking from Pastor Cleophas and Pastor Carlington, sisi wote tumepitia hiyo space yenye unaenda mahali unapata umekaa katikati ya watu na una feel haufit hapo kwa sababu ya status ambayo wako ama vile wamejipresent na vile venye uko.
Sure.
Sijui, how did that make you feel that umefeel how uko out of place in that place? Ulifeel aje?
Of course, Julie, you will always feel inferior. Utajidharau, kuna kitu kinakuja ndani. You know, there are voices ambao inakuja ndani yetu. And sometimes you ask yourself so many questions. Even you go to the level unajiuliza, why was I born in this family? In my family of poor people maybe, or situation maybe. Because when you look at the children from other families, they are born in a very wealthy family. So of course, kuna hiyo kitu inakuja unajidharau na unakosa ile udhamana ndani yako. So you feel inferior into a level unakuja unajikuta you will just unajitengamanisha na wale watu. You know, in all the ways unajaribu as much as I could kuweza kutengamana na watu. Yeah.
I remember a scenario, we went in this meeting, we were launching one of the big churches in Nakuru. So all the ministers were invited, and because it was on a weekend, I decided to go in wearing casual. And I was with my wife. So we were given direction, all the pastors and the bishops are going to this direction where they were to be served meals. And one of the ushers, when she saw that I was wearing casual, so I was blocked from entering where other men of God were in suits. And only my wife was allowed to enter. And I was directed to go and line up. You know, men of God are treated with honor, for they go there where there is a buffet. But I was forced to go and line up where the rest of the congregants were. And it really had an impact on my psychology. I felt, as man of God has said, I felt inferior. And I resolved from that day, anywhere there are pastors meeting, I must be in a suit. So there is a way it affects your mind, your self-image. You feel inferior, you feel despised. And it's really a psychological torture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's psychological torture. To our viewers, today tunaongea kuhusu self-worth. There's someone at home mwenye amepitia the same thing. Maybe umeenda mahali, then ukafeel umetritiwa vibaya because maybe ya vile ulijipresent and it made you feel bad. So today we are talking about self-worth. There are places utaenda na maybe hiyo mahali ingekusaidia, lakini unakosa kwenda hapo tena kwa sababu ya vile ulichukuliwa because ya presentation yako ya hiyo siku. You know, most people huwa wanachukua like hawaoni kesho ya mtu, wanamuona na vile yako na wanamfanya afeel vibaya. Like the way Pastor Carlington is saying, hakuna mtu alijua what you are behind hivyo vile ulijipresent that day. You know, angekuona the following day, hangekutambua because utakuwa umechange, umekuwa the same way. So sometimes watu watakufanya usikie vibaya just because they don't know you. And that interfere na inakufanya una feel vibaya, and then interfere with your self-worth. Sijui, Before that, did you know, Pastor, that you have an issue with self-worth before your incident ifanyike?
No. You know, there are things that reveal, there are experiences that normally reveal what is deep-rooted within you. So unless you are exposed to such an experiences, you may not know that there are some underlying issues you have to deal with and work on. Yeah.
And that brings us to the things, what are some of the things zenye zinaonyesha mtu hana self-worth? Because that is the day that, Pastor, you realized that you are having issues with your self-worth. Sure. And then there's something that you spoke about, Pastor Cleophas, and you spoke about going to a place and people have cars, and at that time you did not have a car.
Yes. I came on foot.
Okay.
And now I could see children driving very big cars, and you happen like you've just come on foot, and now it happens like my dad passed with a bicycle, a sport bike. You just felt so bad, you felt so down, ukasikia unajidharau, hata hukutaka kwenda kwa hiyo mkutano. It was like more of we are coming together like family and friends, but these people are very wealthy. So unakuta ndani yako unakosa udhamani, unajidharau. Na unajiuliza swali, kwanza unajiuliza, why did my dad pass with the bicycle? Whether ningekaa nyumbani. Unakuja unakuta inafika hiyo level ndani yako unakosa kujidhamini. Na kama vile ulikuwa unauliza, unakuja unakuta one of the sign ama jambo ambao ni ishara ya kuoneshana kuwa you have low self-worth is sometimes unakuja unakuta constantly you are seeking validation from people. Kama vile nimekuja na mchungaji asubuhi, ninakuja tunavaa suti, nakuja namza, how do I look like? Mimi ninajua, lakini ninataka hapa aniambie uko smart. Asipokuniambia hata naweza nikatoa hii nivae mpaka sasa hivi ataniambia nini mimi niko smart. So I just want someone to that validation. So unashika mtu akuja kuambia na kwani Julie, that green is so beautiful. Unaona, so unakuja unakuta constantly I think seeking validation from people. How do I look like? How was my English? Lugha yangu ilikuwa jazabela. How did I preach? Unakuta hata katika tunasisi wa huduma, mtu anakuja unamaliza unakuja kuza niliwabariki. How? Inakonesha ndani yako bado you have slow self-worth. Yes, in almost everything you are seeking validation from others.
Yeah, and sometimes hii validation yenye huwa tunapata kwa watu, wakati mwingine hitakuwa true validation. Kwa sababu kwa maisha yenye tunaishi, utapata mtu atakwambia uko smart kwa sababu kuna kitu anataka. Alafu atakwambia uko sawa. So when you go to the next person again akwambie hauko sawa ama akose kukupokea vizuri, it affects your self-worth. Alafu unapata unasikia uchungu, na pia hata unaweza sikilia yule wa kwanza mwenye alikwambia uko sawa. Uone kwa nini alinidanganya. But sometimes even the motives of people itakuwa haiko sawa with what they will tell you. Yes.
Just to add on what Pastor said, one wise man told me, it is not the throne that makes the king to be a king. It is the king who makes that seat to become a throne. As long as he's a king, any seat he uses automatically becomes a throne. Now many people are doing what is in, what they carry, what God has really deposited in them, and because of that, they are seeking validation from people outside. And as I've said, many people will just flatter you. Hawatakwambia kweli. They just want to make you feel good, but few people will tell you the truth. Few people will tell you the truth. So seeking validation from outside is one of the signs that you lack that self-worth. And like my scenario, the case what I've just shared, that rejection, when people abandon you and you feel rejected, it reveals that you have issues with your self-worth.
Yeah, fearing to be rejected or to be abandoned. Na hiyo ndio kwa inafanya pia unapata mtu anakaa kwa relationships ambazo unakuwa disrespected, unakuwa disregarded, unafanywa mambo mengi mabaya, but kwa sababu unaogopa kubaki peke yako, unaogopa kuondoka ama unaogopa to speak out. And there are people who will go up to an extent ya anafanyiwa harm kwa physical harm.
Yes.
Because someone is beating you, you're still in the relationship, you don't want even to speak up. Because wakati mwingine unaweza kuongea and then you find that you will get help. Or this person will fear doing the harm they are doing to you. But you just keep quiet because you are afraid to be rejected.
Sure.
You are afraid usiwachwe peke yako. And it's better that ukwe in a safe space by loving yourself first, because the way you love yourself, the value you give yourself, itafanya wale watu wengine wakupende in the same way.
Sure.
Because you cannot hate yourself and then you expect sisi tukupende.
Yes.
The value ile tutaona unajipatia, it is the same thing that you will give yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
And just to add on it to what Julie is saying, Pastor, because we said that we are living in this life. Bado tuko dunia tunaishi.
Yeah.
My one teacher, my theologian teacher, aliniambia jambo when we are talking about you are fearing to be rejected. Unasikia unawoga kukataliwa because you have to know self-worth. That's one of the signs. So rejection, alisema hivi, rejection is not an issue. The biggest problem is when you reject yourself. Kukataliwa, hata ukienda kimaandiko, Yesu alikataliwa mpaka na watu wao. Na inasema even in the city penye Yesu alikuwa walimkataa. Unaona, nabii hana heshima kwao. Lakini shida ni wakati wewe mwenyewe unajikataa. You know, there is a way ambao watu wanakuangalia Julie, sio kila mtu anakupenda, kuna mtu vile wanakuvali from the outside, not even from the inside.
Yeah.
So the problem is not how people see you, the problem is the value of given to yourself. When you come into an issue of rejecting yourself, nimekuja nikaangalia into such an issue, unakuja unaona one of the reason ya watu wana commit suicide ni low self worth. Yeah. Kwa sababu watu wameenda in a level of rejection, they have rejected themselves.
Yes.
Lakini wakati mtu anapoenda into a level anasema, in as much as this situation is going on, I'm not going to reject myself. Unakuja unakuta mtu have a reason to face another day.
Yeah.
So rejection is not a problem. A problem comes when you reject yourself. Yes.
Then again on rejection, this is what I learned by experience. Sometimes rejection is when you are rejected is kind of you're being redirected to the right place. Because when you walk in a supermarket, for example,
Yes.
and for instance, I want a suit, and I find a suit with a price tag 150,000. Because I don't have that money, automatically I will not even come closer. Not because the suit is not good. So sometimes when people who don't know your value, they will reject you. Not because you're not valuable, but they know they can't afford you. And I've experienced it as a pastor because not in every place we are accepted. There are places we are actually rejected. People don't see the value that we carry. There are places we are received with a very high esteem. Kuna mahali naendanga na funguliwa gari na wazee paka nawaambia pana, mimi ni mababa. This one is too much. But there are places we go where people don't even regard what we carry. But when you understand your value, you will not take rejection as a big deal. It is just a redirection, or maybe people don't understand who you are and what you carry.
Yeah. And most times people reject you just from afar.
Yes.
They have not interacted with you, they don't know you, and they're just rejecting you.
Yes.
So if you have an issue with yourself on low self-worth, it will really affect you. But if you know yourself, you just know that was not my place, I was not supposed to interact with them or to have any meeting with them, and you'll feel just okay.
Yes.
Our viewers, we are talking about self-worth. Don't reject yourself when others reject you, because what you carry, someone might not understand it. Wakati mwingine watu watakuchukia na wewe usijichukie kwa sababu hawajui kile umebeba. You know yourself more and better. And there's something else that most of the time when people reject you, unapata mtu anajaribu kuji over explain. Anataka awafikie, awaambie I'm Julie, the one who does this and this and this, and you're trying to over explain to people who sometimes they may not even be interested with your explanation. And that sometimes inafanya unakuwa humiliated. Because people will dismiss you na hawataki even anything to do with you, but unapata tu you're trying to over-explain yourself.
So that just to add on it, Julie, you know, when you over-explain yourself, unachoka, you become tired. But even, I think even you become sick. Because some of our system in the body, magonjwa ingine, inakuja because now umechoka, you are trying to unajaribu kuvuta watu wakaweza kujua wewe ni nani. And it really brings me to this point. Ninaona, when we are thinking about self-worth, what people say really doesn't, what you believe you are, I think that's the most thing tunapaswa to guard. You know, what you know you are, the value that you attach on yourself, not what people attach on you. Imenikumbusha, it just reminded me about sometimes back I was invited, nilikaribishwa niende nihubiri pale Maryland, United States. That is 2018. So mimi nilipoenda, do you know walikuwa wameweka the flyers? A pastor from Kenya anakuja. So nikaenda, this is a Kenyan setup, it's a Kenyan church in Maryland, Rockville. So mimi nikaenda, wakati wa ibada inaendelea, sini asubuhi. So people came, wakiwa wengi, watu wakakuja. So one lady akakuja, she's an aged mama. Akakuja akaniuliza, akanisalimu, hey, good morning. Bwana asifiwe. Nikasema amen. Akasema, we are waiting for a very big man of God from Kenya. Sasa ndani yangu hapo ndio nikarealize niko na sasa, nikaanza kujiuliza. Anakaaje? Akaniambia, a very big man, utamuona ataletwa. So nikamwambia, it's okay. And I was the man. Lakini sasa unajua the value, watu wali value from outside. You know, sina kitambi. I didn't have that suit. I didn't so vile waliniangalia. So most of the people they value from outside.
From outside.
So but what I said to myself, I'm not going to devalue. Sijui kama kuna devaluing ama kujidunisha my value. Kujidunisha. So what I did is that I waited. So kidogo now when the introduction was done, wakasema now I want to introduce the man of God. So it was so bad, it was so shameful to that. Kwa sababu alipoona ni mimi nafanya introduction. You know, when people value from outside, they cannot even receive your message. But immediately I had to share the message. Huyu mama alibarikiwa sana. But most of the people, I think they value people from outside. So all we need to know is that people can value from outside, but you need to keep your value from inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pastor Carlington,
you know,
how can we revive our self-worth so that you see yourself, so that no matter what anyone does to you, you do not feel bad?
Yeah, I think it is coming to the realization that when you are created in the image and the likeness of God. This was one of the knowledge gap I think Adam had, because when the enemy came, he deceived him that if you eat of this fruit, it is then you will be like God. But initially the Bible says, before they were created, God said, let us create man in the image of God. So lack of awareness, self-awareness, may cause you see yourself worthless, see yourself that you don't have any value. That is why programs like this may be helpful, to let someone realize you are complete before you enter that marriage. You are complete without the validation of your relatives, your friends, those people you are seeking to validate you. Without them, you are already complete. Whether you have money or not, it is regardless of your status, your position, your possessions. There is value vested inside of you. Things don't make you. Who you are is more important than the things you possess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad our conversation still continues, and tumejua our self-worth ni vile tunajitambua. Unajipatia value gani wewe mwenyewe? Usingoje kuvalidatiwa na watu ama wale watu wengine wakuonyeshe the value ambayo uko nayo kwa maisha yako. Vile unajitambua, present yourself like that, and with time watu watakujua venye uko and they will appreciate what you carry. Thank you so much for being with us in the show today. We really appreciate you. Until next time, thank you. And to our panelists, my colleagues, thank you so much. It has been such an inspiring show. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.